Yo, 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 welcome to the Ruveiled podcast.
The Ruveiled podcast.
What up, what up? It's the Ruveiled podcast with your host, Stephen Karen. We up the quality. We should be 1080p now. None of that 480p 2008 YouTube watching garbage. Welcome everybody to the Ruveiled podcast. It's your host Stephen Karen. I'm coming at you today from the studio, feeling alive and well. Our disclaimer here states that the views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests on Ruveiled podcast are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the platform hosting the podcast, i.e. YouTube, Rumble, etc., or any affiliated individuals, organizations, or sponsors. We are not responsible. Just kidding. We are responsible, and that's why we have a disclaimer stating that this is for entertainment purposes only. So with that out of the way, let's get into today's episode, eh? I woke up today a little late, and it's like this, you guys. Even when you wake up late, you can't let yourself become discouraged in life. Even when you fall back, you can't allow yourself to become discouraged. You can't allow yourself to keep giving yourself fuel to be discouraged and to keep falling back on the things that you know you shouldn't be doing, and really instill the discipline to do the things you know that you need to do. Even just instilling the thought habits in your mind, the habit of telling yourself that you need to be aware of the patterns that you subconsciously fall into if you want to truly break out of it. A good example is like masturbation, right? It's a big thing that teenage boys and teenage girls and even grown-ass people struggle with, right? Maybe they tell themselves that they know they shouldn't be doing it all the time and that it's not good for their brain, it's not good for their biology and their chemistry. So there's a lot of other reasons too, right? Watching porn, that shit's gross. Yeah, it's all just a mess. It's all gross, right? So, and this is just an example, right? If somebody wants to stop masturbating, well, they have to quit thinking those thoughts, right? They have to quit allowing themselves to get all riled up. When they get riled up, they have to quit resorting to, oh, well, I'm just going to get on my phone and open up an incognito tab, PORNHUB. Like, stop it. Stop it. You have to tell yourself, stop it before it's too late. Imagine God watching you. Imagine somebody watching you. Imagine the look on your face. Imagine you sitting there, doing your thing, how embarrassing it is, right? Not just that, but remember how it makes you feel at the end of the day. You might feel all, why right now? No. Like a good example would be like men waking up in the morning. That's no excuse. It's no excuse. If you have a goal in mind to not do something, you're not going to allow yourself to end up doing it just because you end up in an environment where there's potential for it to happen, right? Drinking alcohol, that's a good example. If we could shift away from that for a second. Alcohol is a great example, right? If you want to quit drinking, you have to tell yourself to quit drinking, obviously, but that's not always going to... People can lie to themselves. People can hype themselves up. People can, oh yeah, I'm not drinking it. I'm only doing it on the weekend. The truth is, If you want to quit drinking, you got to quit putting yourself in the environments where you're going to be enabled to drink. Same people saying that they're not drinking are going to end up hanging out with people who only enable them to drink. Right? You end up putting yourself in an environment where there's people around you, there's influence around you, there's temptation around you, and it's really easy to fall into these things. It's really easy to fall into these things if we aren't becoming aware of ourselves and learning when we need to exit the scene, right? If you tell yourself that you're going to quit drinking and it's for sure definite, but you're still hanging around the same people, trying to do the same thing, still partying or whatever, you're going to fall back eventually, right? There's going to be a night where you could go on a 2-month streak, 3-month streak, no drinking, I'm solid, not a care in the world, I'm doing great. It could be a year, it could be 2 years, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years that you go without, and then one day something happens where you're like, oh, screw it, it's just a little bit, and then you fall back. You might not end up getting sucked into it immediately, but you fall back once. I mean, patterns repeat themselves, right? So if you fall back once, you've already set the potential for falling back more, right? So you want to eliminate that. You don't want to keep falling back and keep letting yourself down. You don't ever want to get to a point where you are allowing yourself into a space to let that happen. To let yourself, oh, I've had a bad day. I've had a rough week. I'm going through a divorce. I'm going through a breakup. Somebody in my family just died. My best friend just died. Something terrible has happened. And you know what? Just for one night, I'm going to say fuck it. And I'm going to go ahead and just get messed up. You know, this is how we fall back. By feeling sorry for ourselves, stepping outside of our discipline, allowing ourselves, essentially, to fall out of place. And it's like this. Life isn't perfect. And why should you sit here and listen to me sitting here rambling on, right? The point, you guys, is that there's a lot of love in this world. There are people out there that care about you, and you know, you should be waking up every day finding reasons to be disciplined, do the things that you love, know what you stand for, and progress in your life. We only have so much time here, you guys. We only have so much time here. And it's like this. Do you want to be strong? Do you want to have the power to have control over your own self, over your own life, over your own decision making, over the things that happen to you or happen for you in your life? There's potential for these things. There's lots of potential for these things. You just have to want it. You have to really want it. It's really easy to fall back and say, oh, I've fallen back and now I'm disappointed in myself. And then you don't even really think about it. You just subconsciously let that fuel your failure, right? You just let that one slip up, that one relapse, that one whatever it is, be the catalyst that snowball affects you into your same patterns, your same habits, the stuff that's holding you back, the stuff you want to break so that you can move forward with your life and be happy. and grow. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why this can happen. There's a lot of different reasons why people end up failing. But at the end of the day, you have to really want success. You have to really want to be better than you were yesterday. You have to want to do more with yourself and be more in life. And this doesn't have to be this big saving the world, being the main character. Like, it ain't even necessarily about that. You know, at least be the main character for your life. You know? And it's like this, too. People wake up and they don't know what they want in life. So I get it. I get how it can be sort of a default for people. People just default to, you know, the programming that is their lives. You know, who they are, what they're into, what they do, where they work, who their friends are, what have you. This stuff all changes. This stuff all changes, you guys. And if you want to be in control of your own life, if you want to be successful in that way, success is different to everybody. It means something different for everybody. Maybe it's not all the big wins, maybe it's just the small wins, but the point is, you have to be focused. You have to be in an environment that is going to enable you to want to be better. That is going to enable you to focus on the things that are going to improve your life and not the things that are going to take away from who you want to be and who you want to become. So I hope this isn't a big rambly episode for you guys. I hope I'm making some sense. You know, you gotta, like the title of this video, you know, wake up and smell the coffee. If your life is crap and you're unhappy with yourself, stop telling yourself that you're unhappy with yourself. Stop telling yourself that this is your life and these are the conditions that you've resorted to. You gotta look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I've let myself down. How can I do better? How can I get past this? How can I make a move right now to give me some sort of win, to remind myself that I can do better? And it could be a small win. Some people struggle with depression. Make your fucking bed. Put your clothes away. Brush your teeth. Make it a set thing to where you force yourself to get up 10 minutes before you're supposed to get up. Go take a shower and brush your teeth. Maybe you don't have to force yourself to get up early, but when you get up early, or whenever you do get up, make yourself take a shower and go brush your teeth first thing. Put your deodorant on. Get yourself dressed. Make sure that your space that you're in is tidy. Bed made, clothes put away, stuff not hanging out, things organized, you know? And just notice the difference. Notice the difference in your life if you feel like your life is out of control. If you feel like you're letting yourself down. If you do something to take care of yourself, it's going to make you feel better. And if you organize the space that you're in, you're going to feel like you have more control over your life. It's that simple. So, I hope this has been a decent episode. I hope this has been an inspiring little episode for you guys. I came on super late. What time is it right now? I came on at like 10:20. And these shows start at 9. So that was a bit of a letdown. You know, I woke up really late. Woke up around 9 when the show's supposed to be starting. This isn't the first time that this has happened to me. And I almost was really upset. I mean, I was up late. I'm turning on my computer. My monitors aren't working. You know, I'm trying to get stuff rolling with the software. The software is bugging out. I got to keep closing and restarting the software. It took me like an hour to get myself ready, to get the pod going, get myself a cup of coffee, get my ideas together, sit down, pull up all this stuff, get it all ready. But you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it. And I still showed up. Even though I was fashionably late, I still showed up. And that's important. We do things to let ourselves down. Maybe it's a subconscious thing we do to ourselves. Maybe it's something that, circumstances that are outside of our control that lead to us not getting what we want to get done, actually done, and we let ourselves down a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. You have to tell yourself that it's okay sometimes. Life isn't perfect. Everything's not always going to be perfect. You're going to have mistakes. You're going to have road bumps. You're going to have roadblocks. What's important is that you want it. Whatever it is, whatever defines your success, you fucking want it and you're not going to stop. You're going to persevere no matter what life throws at you. If life gives you lemons, you're going to cut those things in half and start squeezing them in the eyes of your enemies. Right? Don't let the discouragement get to you. Don't let the falling back get to you. You're gonna have those days, but you know what? You gotta tell yourself, I made this mistake. What am I gonna do to make it better? What am I gonna do to make up for it? What am I gonna do to push myself further so that I can still be okay with myself even though I've let myself down? How can I do better? Should be the question every day. And I don't know, that's me anyways. That's how I feel. This is what I'm going through, you guys. I don't know if you guys are going through this, but there's big shifts happening in the world. And there's big split going on. I don't know if anybody's heard about this who's watching this, but a lot of people have been hearing about this and learning about it, and it's the 3D, 5D split, right? So the 3D, here we are, right? And then the 5D, so not to get too deep, but even though it's about to go deep, I just said that. So there's dimensions to reality, right? What we experience on the outside is the 3 dimension, the 3rd dimension, right? We view the 3rd dimension from a 2D perspective because of our eyes. So what's the 4th dimension? People could argue about what dimensions are, but I'm just going to talk about what I think, what I know. So the 4th dimension is time and space, right? The 4th dimension gives a median for the 3rd dimension to move through. And I think I've talked about this on this show. And then the 5D is the ability to see through time and space, the ability to see where your actions lead you, right? If I wake up and I decide to do this, like if I decide to go one way, right? Let's say I wake up and I don't brush my teeth, I don't get myself ready, I don't do the things that I'm supposed to do, right? That puts me in a position where I can either have a moment where it's like, oh, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to, and then I can make decisions based off of that, whether I want to do better or not, or I could totally ignore that, not even have that thought, have a totally different thought, keep thinking, either not thinking about it or just being like, oh, my life is crap. I don't know. There's different outcomes. There's different possibilities to every scenario, right? And the 5th dimension is the ability to see through time and space and see where your different actions lead you. right? If I don't go to school, I could seize an opportunity presented to me to do something great, right? I could end up with a business opportunity and do something great. If I decide not to do that and go to school, then I could end up with a degree. I could end up in a lot of debt. I could end up dropping out and getting into a business. I don't know. The whole point that I'm trying to get at here is that we all within us have that ability. It might not be apparent to you now. It might not be there now. But you have to just ask yourself. You have to ask yourself, what am I doing? What am I doing? Is this what I want to do? Is this the path that I'm supposed to be on? Okay, I have these decisions in front of me. You know, let's not just make these decisions impulsively based off of our wants and desires and needs right now in the third dimension. You know, let's analyze where these different decisions can take us and make the best decision based off of our understanding that what we do affects us, right? Cause and effect. So the more we become aware of ourselves, the more we become aware of the choices that we make, the more we're able to break the programming that has been set on us by ourselves, by society, by our parents, by our friends, by all kinds of things in life. But we're able to break out of the programming and see the potential for more in ourselves and in our lives. So I think that was a good point to end this on, you guys. I really appreciate everybody who's been tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. This is Steve and Karen with the Ruveiled podcast, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you all are staying healthy, staying strong, staying proactive. This is a crazy world that we're living in, and we need each other more than ever. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you follow and stay in tune with us. We're doing this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every week, 9 a.m. for the foreseeable future. I'm sure there will be a point where season 1 comes to an end and I switch up the schedule, but right now, that's what it is. It's Steven with the Ruveiled podcast, and again, thanks for tuning in. If you have questions, reach out to me. If you want to be on the podcast, reach out to me. Hit me up. S.1 love. Alright, y'all. Stay up.